Hello, my name is Cartograph, and I am a minor attracted person. I'm here to provide information regarding minor attraction, answer questions, counter arguments, and try to provide a place for people to come and discuss a taboo and oftentimes difficult topic.
Hey cartograph, I'm a decent human being who thinks you should visit Texas for a really good reason. So let's get into why this guy doesn't deserve the air that he consumes.
They purposely making the innocent weak. My existence on this planet's for you. I ain't only here to benefit me.
Before I really get into this, I'm just going to say why I said that this guy should visit Texas. You see, a while back ago in Texas, a man beat to death a guy who molested his daughter. And the DA responded by saying in Texas, it is legal to respond with violent action to defend the child if you catch a child predator in the act. So I think a bunch of these minor attracted people should come to Texas and see just how welcoming we can be.
Evolution is one of my favorite topics in the world.
I find it to be quite an interesting topic too. It's also quite funny how people get after me once they realize I'm a theist who is critical of Darwinian evolution.
And so, I'm going to share my thoughts on the evolution of minor attraction.
Ah fuck, I can feel the cancer growing now.
Let's look at minor attraction. What evolutionary advantages does it have? What are the disadvantages of not having it?
Just notice how this motherfucker is approaching it himself. He's looking for advantages and he's looking for disadvantages to not having it. Basically, he's just trying to push an agenda. He's not looking for the disadvantages that it will have, which I'll get to in a moment.
Minor attraction has a direct benefit of preparing children for a world that includes sex. Probably a lot of sex, which would likely first occur with the minor attracted individual.
This is just something very disturbing that I see all the time with these kinds of people. Where in the world do they get the idea that everything's about sex? No. There's countless things in life that are not about sex, and these people are obsessed with it. That's why they're obsessed with sex with anybody.
Who would effectively show them the ropes. If so, there's an increased chance of that individual's genes being passed on. There's the benefit of bonding. In species that mate for life, or include bonded pairs, or parenting, being the first to bond with a mate is a determining factor in whether or not those genes get passed on.
On the matter of bonding and being with an individual for life as being the one that was with them first, studies have shown that people that are molested are much more likely to be sexually promiscuous, and even interviews with prostitutes have shown that they tend to have been molested as a child. On the matter of fertility and being the one to pass on genes, studies have shown and linked the fact that people who are molested as children, especially women, tend to have chronic pelvic pain. This is CPP. And while some of the information is sketchy, there is a clear link that can be drawn between CPP and child molestation. CPP in women has been shown to cause infertility, as women's mental stress, health, and physical state is more interlinked with their fertility than are some with men. And this is completely never minding the issue of vaginal tearing and scarring leading to infection, leading to infertility.
There's a suggestion that homosexuality evolved to better provide this sharing. With no children of their own, they make great babysitters and are just as willing to defend their nieces and nephews from aggressors as their father.
This disturbing motherfucker is about to try to link the two, pedophilia and homosexuality. While I am okay with homosexuals adopting and having children, this motherfucker is going to make a very distinct connection that is disturbing and is purely mental gymnastics.
A similar thing could be said about minor attraction. Minor attracted individuals are more willing to give their support to the families of their mate, and will be more willing to risk their health or lives to protect them, much like a teleophile would do so for their mate. This in turn increases the likelihood of that family accepting him or her, and his or her offspring, and therefore keeps the genes viable into successive generations.
You want to talk about how they'll care so much for these people? Well, let's look at some of these things here, okay? Somebody that has been molested is 3.8 times more likely to develop drug addiction and alcohol abuse and other such things. They are much less likely to practice safe sex, therefore get diseases. They are much more likely to be sexually promiscuous. They're going to have all kinds of mental disorders, including bipolar, all kinds of cognitive issues and societal issues, and relationship issues. Somebody that cares about somebody would not cause them to have these problems. You, sir, are a disgusting person. Okay, everything else this guy goes into a bunch of shit about the disadvantages of not being attracted to little girls. How homosexuality and fetishes in people can be examples of different variations of sexuality. And he also speaks about how different protective instincts and natures in animals and people can be examples of loving children, and even tries to connect the love of a child from a parent to pedophilia. It's just all very disturbing, and I'm not going to get into that shit. I'm going to put a link in the description below to Running Gun's response to OmniPolitics 16, which a lot of people have already done. And if you're interested in what inspired me to make this video, really it was the Milo Yiannopoulos event. I saw a bunch of people doing videos about cartograph and OmniPolitics 16 especially, and I wasn't going to make any videos about this until the Milo Yiannopoulos thing happened, and I had to make my point clear on my stance on this stuff. But I wasn't going to cover Milo Yiannopoulos simply because everybody was going to, and I was right. I'll link below also Woz Lee's video about this, which did a very good interpretation of the sheer hypocrisy and stupidity of it, how long it took them to do this. Sargon of Akkad's video, where he exposes very possible colluding amongst each other to do such a thing and harm Milo Yiannopoulos, and he also exposes hypocrisy. And then Chairviews, a nice little rant about it and how it shows the short-sightedness of liberals when it comes to homosexuality and the progressivism they like to preach about.
Most of you chumps running around here ain't never had strict parents. Still you out in these streets thinking you hot as can be, without the knowledge to lead, so you just follow the sheep. You been brainwashed by a fake life that you used to live in. Yo, society's got you living for a whack cause you're a fucking adult with no skills at all. You don't read any books or play ball, you don't draw, you literally do nothing at all. Your lazy ass don't commit to labor. You pick something up, try it out, and put it down 2 minutes later. Then you complain about your life cause it ain't getting catered. Now whoever tries to call you on your bullshit's a hater. They purposely making the innocent weak. My existence on this planet's for you. I ain't only here to benefit me. Yeah, we need to make a change while there's still time. It is hard, and sometimes I struggle trying to reveal mine. I can guide you if you feel blind. I just need you to be willing to journey into my ill mind.